Hi, how are you? Welcome back to Tarot Tats and Tea. I'm here today to go through the Tarot Illuminati. I have had the most recent edition sent to me, and we're going to have a look at the comparisons, and we're going to start off at looking at the packaging. So we have the Tarot Illuminati, which is the Tarot Illuminati kit. It comes with the large book, it comes with the 78 tarot cards, and it is in a completely different style box to what the newer one is. This is the magnetic closing. It has the blurb on the back. It's by Eric C. Dunn, and the book is by Kim Huggins. There's another book I also recommend by Kim Huggins, which is the larger book of this. Now I do have a copy of it, but my copy seems to have disappeared. I really do need to locate it. This is the book that comes with the original kit. This one was published, the publication date for this product was May the 8th, 2013. And then of course this newer one's only just out. Now, like I say, this is the book. It's 128 pages. Oh, sorry, 160 pages. I don't know what I'm saying there. 160 pages. It's full of information, lovely coloured photographs, and you've got full page images for the majors. You've got smaller pictures in the corners for the minors, and in the front here you have a number of spreads. Okay, so it's the standard book that comes with all tarot kits. You can say the box is nice and big, and it's the one tray in the center, and a nice storage box to keep your deck safe. I must admit, my Tarot Illuminati is one of the main decks that I use when I'm reading for clients, and I store mine wrapped up in a little piece of silk, which is inside here, and this in this box. So the box itself and the book I keep on my tarot shelf. Oh, there's a wind getting up there. That's the cover on my egg chair. The new deck that's come out, the new version of it, they've gone from the name Tarot Illuminati to Illuminati Tarot. Okay, it's one of these boxes that you pick up and lift off. Now I personally have a problem with these boxes, because when the cards are in them it's quite heavy, and when you lift them up the lid slides off. I have that with my the Modern Witch Tarot. It drives me insane. This is the book that comes with this deck, okay, and there's nowhere near the amount of information in this to what you get in the book with the kit. And I have to credit that book. It really is a good one. The other difference now is the card stock. Okay, now before I go on to the card stock, I'm just going to change cameras, because I've set them out here so that you can see from above. So I will do my best to show you this. It's not the best camera in the world, but please ignore the bright red background. It's a cloth that I made. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the camera around, and I'll talk to you from there. So here we are with the two decks. This is the original deck. Excuse my nails, I have been working in the garden again this morning, repotting, and so I've got compost under my nails. I do apologise. Try and keep them out of the picture as much as I can. Now, what we have here, we have the original deck and the new deck. Now, looking this way, you can see my original one has gilding on it, but you can also see that it's extremely worn, because I use this deck an awful lot. In fact, you can actually see how I hold the deck. My thumb marks are here. Oh, that's a bit, there you go, you can see that lightness there, and my finger marks are all here. So it's you can see the difference. There you go. See how the gilding's worn off. That's not a problem, you know, it's there to be used. This is a shiny cardstock, as you can see there. Okay, it does wear away at the edges. As you can see, the card is curling slightly along the edges, but again, that's because it's used. It's a loved deck. The pattern on the back of the cards has remained the same, okay, but this is a matte cardstock. So as you can see, you don't have that glare that you have here. It's nice and it's matte and that buttery feel. Just take this card off, and we'll go and look at this here. So we've got the King of Swords here. Now, when this was advertised, I expected it to be a bigger deck. Okay, I was hoping this would be, you know, the larger size. Sometimes we get larger size cards, a little bit like, say, the Dark Mansion. You get your standard size and your large size. That's what I was hoping was going to happen with this, that this would be a larger size. It's actually not. It's got rounder corners, as you can just see. The other corners are just peeking off from the end of the card underneath. So the corners are rounder, but the cards are the same side. This one, you can just see, because it's rounded the corners more, so in effect it's actually smaller. You know, if we turn it over, there's no difference in size. Okay, like I say, this has round edges, but only the very small round edges. This has a much rounder edge, and it's matte. Other than the fact it's glossy, there's no difference, because my deck from the kit had the gilding on and the pictures went to the edge. There was no frame. So I'm a little disappointed in the fact that this was not a bigger sized deck to make it easier to see everything that's on it. Now, I do know, I was watching Simon on the Hermit's Cave. If I'm not mistaken, I think his deck didn't have the gilding and it had a border, which would have reduced this picture size quite a lot. So anybody that bought this Tarot Illuminati, I got mine, oh gosh, it must be about 7 or 8 years ago, if not longer. And to see what's been brought out now, it's a little bit of a disappointment, because really the only difference is rounder corners and matte cardstock. A bigger deck would have been totally appreciated. Now, am I annoyed that I ordered it? No, because as you can see, this is very, very worn, okay? And I do use it a lot. It's nice to have this now as a backup if any of the cards do get damaged. What I do like about this is that because they are matte cardstock, the cards themselves, they don't slip and slide, okay? And they don't stick to each other. Even though they're gilded, you haven't got them sticking to each other. And I have to say, I do like that very bold gilding. It is gorgeous, you know. But I've always liked this deck. It is a bit of a disappointment that they're not that little bit bigger. That's my only bugbear with it, if the truth be known. So let's just turn it over. We'll just have a look through a couple of cards to double check that there are no difference. You can see mine are worn away. The one thing I will say, when I first got this deck, some of the cards were stuck together. So you'll see here on my card's back, it's actually peeled off there. It was actually stuck to the Hierophant. Now it came off there, this piece stuck to that, and so, you know, sorry, this piece here stuck to there on the Hierophant, on this edge, but it peeled off nicely. Didn't leave a mark, but it left an unpleasant mark there on one of my cards. But that's just one of those things. So there we go. This is the Fool. And as you can see, with it being a glossy card, we do have quite a shine off it. Just trying to fix it underneath this camera so you can see the whole thing. Like I say, the camera's not, it's just a camera that I have from when I was teaching, when I used to open textbooks and put them out so that children could follow text on the board. So let's have a look. We'll turn this deck over. I have to say, I do like the feel of this matte deck. It's slightly, because it's thicker card, it's slightly taller, you know, chunkier as a deck. So let me see if I can just focus that in a little bit more so it's a bit clear. Ah, there we go. That's focused in a lot better. So we can see the expressions on the faces are the same, the images are the same colour, the same sun. There's nothing different added to the card at all. It's exactly the same image, just a different cardstock. No gloss on the newer ones, gloss on the original, and matte on the newer. Like I say, it's nice to have a second copy of the deck, because in all honesty, that's all it is. So it's a nice heads up that you're getting, that if you already have this deck, only unless you feel that you want a a copy of it, a spare copy, then I would go out and get this one. If there's no need for you to have a copy of it, then do you know something? I don't know whether I would have done that. Now, I know I did see them on Simon's. I don't know why I thought they were a bigger card, but I at that point had already ordered it, so there's not a lot I could have done about it anyway. But I do, you know, I do like it, don't get me wrong. The print, as you can see on the old one, has got a curlier print. The Alchemist here, you can see there, and you look here, the Alchemist there, it's a larger print, okay. I think I like the newer print actually. It's clearer to see, but I'm saying that the print suits the old card, you know. So it's looking pretty good. Let's see. That you can see there's literally no difference in the image other than the fact that one's glossy and one's matte. Then we have our High Priestess. In this one you can see the colours are slightly brighter. It's more obvious in this card, and I think that was because of the blue that's been used. It's slightly muted here on the newer deck, but that is simply because it's not glossed. Well, you know, when you're painting anything and you add a gloss, it does, the colours do pop that little bit more, don't they? So let's have a look here. Let's get you back on that pile. You can see here the Empress, and again in the reds, you can see it's a much more bolder red here than it is here, and yet, you know, it's, see this. No, there's no difference at all, you know. Here's our Emperor. I actually find, looking on the screen, I don't know if it's the same for yourselves, that this deck doesn't come up pop as much as this deck. I think the facial features seem to be sharper on the older deck, you know. Again with the Hierophant as well, I just feel that the features do appear sharper. Oops, on the side. Yeah, it's much bolder, you know. Am I a little disappointed? Like I say, the only thing that I'm actually disappointed in is the size of the cards. I was hoping for them to be bigger, but they're not. They're the same, you know. The flames on the old, yeah, everything on the older deck is bolder, definitely bolder. So this is the Tarot Illuminati. I won't go through the whole deck. I'll just show you some of the minors here. What have we got there? Four of Pentacles. There we go. I'll just pop these back here. Here we are. Some of the minors here. We'll skip a few. Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. Oops, that's 7 of Pentacles. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm still finding the older one is actually clearer. Why was I hoping for a bigger deck? I was hoping for a bigger deck simply because I would like a larger picture of each, so you can get in right to the nitty-gritty and see the details. You know, we can see lupins are being grown, and we look, these could potentially be little bluebells or forget-me-nots, you know, abundance of grapes growing, but it'd be nice to have a bigger picture so you could sort of almost step into it. I am not annoyed or angry or disappointed because it is one of my most favourite decks. I'm going to treat this as a spare copy to keep. I don't usually have second copies of decks unless they are of a much bigger size. But I will keep this because my beautiful working deck here is very much worn and well, dare I use the term threadbare. But it has been by my side since I purchased it, and I love it dearly. And I love this one too. It's the same deck, it's just a different cardstock, you know, and it's going to be minded on my shelf until this one can take no more work. I would recommend, if you're going to go and order this deck, okay, now this deck came up at €30 I think it was, but you can get the kit, the older kit that comes with the bigger book, for about €28, which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I will have to check that. Yeah, here we go, hold on a second, this is on Amazon, so let me just check here for a second. Amazon. Oh no, this is from Lo Scarabeo. €29 for the actual kit with the large book, and the newer version, which is a matte copy, let me see, from Lo Scarabeo, is €30. Yeah, so you're paying more for less. Okay, that's the own. I do have bugbears when people do that. You know, many of us support the tarot creators and all the publishers that publish the decks, and I know this is older and it comes with a bigger box, and the difference is one's glossy, one's matte, but €1's €1. Okay, it's it could have gone in your tarot jar for your next deck. I know I'm sort of being a little bit moany there, but that does annoy me when you're getting more bang for your buck buying this set here and getting a book like this in the tarot kit. It irks me when we're sold something less for more. There we go, just pop this deck into here for now whilst I'm sorting this out. So I'm just turning the camera around. So now you can see you've got the Tarot Illuminati kit, which is still available for €29 from Lo Scarabeo, and you have got the Illuminati Tarot box with what's equivalent to a little white book. Here you get the actual companion book. This is €30, this is €29. Like I say, I was expecting this deck to be slightly larger in size, so that you could see more, focus more on the images. There's no change to the images in the new edition. It's just, like I say, the cardstock. So that's that. The only other deck that I need a second copy of, and I'm glad I've got this because I will use it as a second copy once my Tarot Illuminati is completely worn down, is my RWS 2.0. That's really looking tatty. I got that in 2018 and I use it every day of the week, and like I say, I definitely do need a second copy of that, because this poor deck it's looking battered. There's 3 decks that I use when I have people come for readings. I ask them to take a choice of which deck they'd like me to read with, and it's either the Tarot Illuminati, the RWS 2.0, or my Dark Mansion first edition small size, which is the same traditional size, or you know, normal tarot size, because I have the big size of that, and that's what I was expecting. This one is not there, but sure, never mind, it doesn't matter. So that's that. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.